Why does agonizing over a weekend trip for like 3 weeks often result in a worse outcome than buying a car on a total whim?
It's crazy how that works, isn't it?
It really is. So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are digging into a vocabulary transcript from the High Level Listening English channel to kind of explore how we actually talk about the mental gymnastics of choosing.
Right, because the specific idioms we use to describe these moments, they aren't just random filler.
No.
They actually map out how different brains process or, well, try to escape the overwhelming pressure of making choices.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So today we're going to look at two distinct decision-making styles and the specific language that gives them away.
Right. So think about the last time you were trying to book a hotel for a vacation. You probably started off very logically, right? You're weighing options and narrowing it down.
Oh, absolutely. That is the textbook approach of the analytical delayer.
Okay.
You start with this wide net, and you carefully eliminate variables, just trying to optimize your choice for the perfect outcome.
But then the mental friction hits.
Mm-hmm.
You start, as the source points out, dragging your feet. You go back and forth. And I always picture this like being stuck on a playground swing.
Okay, a swing. Why a swing?
Well, not just because of the repetitive motion, but it's because the mental energy required to evaluate like 50 different hotel reviews keeps you suspended in midair.
Ah, yeah.
You're putting in a ton of effort, but the sheer mechanism of overanalysis prevents you from actually moving forward.
That is such a great analogy. And that mental energy is exactly why English speakers say they make a decision, whereas in many other languages, you actually take a decision.
Wait, really? Take a decision?
Yeah. Think about the physical difference there. Taking implies plucking a prepackaged perfect choice right off a grocery store shelf.
Oh, like the correct answer already exists. I just have to reach out and grab it.
Exactly. But making a decision implies active creation. You're forging a new path through this overgrown forest.
Yeah, and that requires a lot of cognitive heavy lifting.
It does. You are actively building a reality that didn't exist a moment ago.
Which perfectly explains the brilliant irony of the overthinker. By putting off the creation of that path,
Right.
by dragging your feet to avoid making a mistake, you eventually run out of time.
You really do.
The hotels book up, you lose your agency, and you're forced into a panicked split-second decision, or a spur-of-the-moment choice, as the vocabulary highlights.
Exactly. You overanalyze to avoid a bad outcome, but the delay forces a high-pressure reactive choice anyway.
Yeah,
And naturally, that immediate compromise leaves you drowning in second thoughts.
always. So if that slow analytical approach eventually forces a panic choice anyway, what happens when we just bypass logic entirely?
Well, you stop using your brain completely.
Okay, I like the sound of that.
Right. Consider a totally different scenario from the text.
Yeah.
You're standing in a store, buying a pair of trainers, sneakers for us Americans,
Yeah.
and you just refuse to mull things over.
I have to say, I love that phrase, mulling things over. It feels distinctly British, like you're slowly chewing on a thought for an extended period of time just to see how it tastes.
Yeah, that's spot on. But instead of mulling, you just go with your gut to avoid overthinking. You try the shoes on, you feel an immediate physical response, and you walk straight to the counter.
I have to push back on this, though.
Okay, go for it.
Is going with your gut actually a wiser, more enlightened way to make a choice? Or is it just a psychological trick we use to bypass the pain of that cognitive heavy lifting we just talked about?
It's a bit of a paradox, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you look at how our language treats the body.
How so?
Well, in these idioms, we treat the gut like the literal physical stomach
Yeah.
as the ultimate source of pure unconscious honesty.
Oh, wow.
Right. Scientifically, we know snap judgments can be deeply flawed or, heavily biased.
Mm-hmm.
But our language treats the gut as infallible.
So it's framing physical instinct as inherently superior to mental logic.
Exactly. The brain is slow. It fact checks. It worries about maximizing the outcome. It gets all tangled up in reviews and prices.
Yeah, it gets exhausted.
But the gut, the enteric nervous system, feels immediate. So when you say you are going with your gut, you're deliberately granting yourself permission to shut off the slow, logical brain before you get paralyzed by the sheer volume of options.
But I mean, even the gut chooser isn't immune to the struggle, right? The vocabulary notes that while you're standing at the till,
Cash register, yeah.
right, the cash register, you might still experience a wave of second thoughts.
You definitely might. But the difference is the reaction. Instead of going back and forth, you choose to stick with your decision.
Stick with it.
Sticking with it is an active refusal to reopen those mental loops, even when that inevitable buyer's remorse starts creeping in. You just commit to the path you forged.
I love that. So whether you're an analytical delayer who ultimately makes a panicked, split-second decision,
Right.
or an intuitive gut chooser buying trainers on a total whim, you now have the exact vocabulary to diagnose your own style.
You do. And the fascinating thread connecting both of these styles is really the inescapable nature of doubt.
Yeah, that's so true.
We saw the careful planner panic at the very end, and we saw the fast gut chooser doubt themselves right at the cash register.
Nobody escapes the second thoughts.
Nobody at all. Which leaves us with a pretty interesting question.
What's that?
Is it possible that true confidence in a decision doesn't actually exist while we are making it? Like, maybe true confidence only arrives after it's entirely too late to change our minds.